Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this is kind of something that I've felt for a while now. I am kind of getting sick of the lack of 4 stars in StarRail. Like the last 4-star we got was Moe's back in 2.5, and the fact that we are going into 3.2 and still not getting a new 4-star is insane to me. Like, and the fact that, like, besides maybe Hyacine, most of the Amphoria's characters seem like they are going to be 5 stars, which on the one hand does make them kind of exciting, but on the other hand, is kind of annoying. Like, we did at least get Remembrance MC as a free unit, but like the last actual on-banner 4-star was like half a year ago. Now, some people might ask, like, does the game need more 4-stars? And I would argue that yes, it definitely does. And I think that there is a couple of reasons. One, it gives people more options if they don't have certain 5-star characters, because one big problem right now is that if you don't have certain 5 stars, some teams feel so much worse than if you had them, and so, more 4-stars could fill in some of those gaps in teams if you don't have those characters. So, it's way better for free-to-play players, since not every character feels like a must-pull, and, gives you, like I said, more options if you don't have certain characters. Like, they have kind of been doing this with, like, the alternate forms of March and the MC, but it is just not enough, because most of the 4-stars in the game right now kind of suck. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, when they came out, a lot of them were okay, but, like, now they're kind of just, like, no point to use them besides, like, a couple, like, Tingyun and Pilla. And, 3, it can actually kind of slow down power creep a bit if Hoyo releases more 4-stars, because currently, when every character we are getting is a 5-star, they need to be, like, as good or better than what came before, or most people just aren't going to pull for them. So if instead maybe they did like 1 5-star and 1 4-star, like every like 2 patches, let's say, it would make it so not every character has to like increase the power level higher and higher. But that also does kind of show like another problem, where like the power level is so high now that I don't know if any new 4-star would be able to keep up, because the 4-stars that happen good are all just either supports or sub DPSs. Like, Gallagher is a healer, Hot March is a sub DPS, Tingyun is also a support. Even if we include like the Trailblazer in this, both new forms are supports. Like the main problem with 4-stars right now is just that their numbers are never going to be as high as 5-stars. So if they aren't like supporting another big 5-star, there's just almost no reason to use them, well, like over other characters. Like the only 4-star DPSs we've really gotten is like Misha and Shui, who, even when Misha came out, he wasn't really that good. And Shui was, like, okay, but kind of just got insanely overshadowed by, like, every new Bright character that came out. So do I think they should focus on adding new 4-stars? I think, like, yes and no. I do think that they should add more 4-stars, because 5 patches in a row without one is kind of insane, like, I'm not gonna lie. But I also would kind of like them to go back and buff a lot of the older 4-stars, since characters like Arlen have had like nothing since day 1, so like he could at least get some like buffs, and especially like a lot of the 1.0 4-stars, like most of them kind of just suck. Like the only reason like someone like Serval is good now is because of Herta, and not even really because of her own kit. And that is kind of like one problem with like buffing these 4-stars with like newer 5-stars, is that they aren't good because of their own kits. They're good because of another character. And if you don't have that character, then there is still no point in using them. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. By the way, if you are enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, because it helped me out a ton, and I would really appreciate it. Anyway, back to the video. The lack of 4-stars really just doesn't make any sense to me, because like most people probably say, oh, like they're just making a bunch of 4-stars because it's for money. But like, while I do kind of agree with that, like, wouldn't making more characters just make them more money? Like, if it was just about money, wouldn't you want to make as many characters as possible? Like, I feel like that just makes more sense to me. Like, the only other reason I can see besides money, because, I do think that is kind of part of it, is that the devs want every character to feel, like, exciting. And usually, 5-stars are way more exciting than 4-stars to a lot of people. But, like, you can still make 4-stars exciting by either, like, making them good, or making them like important characters in the story, or just making them likable, like something. Which they have been doing. Like both Gallagher and Misha were pretty important to the story of Penacony. Moe's wasn't like super important, but he was still definitely relevant in the story. Like some 4-stars are so important that they get turned into 5 stars. like it almost feels like Hoyo is afraid to make characters like just for the sake of it, or just like not important. Because I mean, Genshin kind of like does this. Personally, it feels like characters just come out just to kind of exist and fill out the roster. Like it feels like the StarRail devs do not want that at all, and I do think it is kind of not necessarily hurting the game a bit, but like it's kind of making them afraid to do more designs, if that makes any sense. Like since like currently we have 23 4 stars, including both March forms as separate, and there are currently 39 5 stars, and that's not even including like the Trailblazer. Now obviously that isn't like that's the whole story, since obviously that includes all of the 1.0 characters and all of the standard bandit characters, but also like the frequency that we get 5 stars is way more than we get the frequency of 4 stars. And also most of the 4 stars that we came out were in during like the 1.0 patches, so like the frequency is just really bad. But to be honest, but the most annoying thing to me is that we know the devs can make good 4 stars because they have been doing it. Like Gallagher is great for break teams and even in non-break teams. Hunt March, I would argue, is one of the best designed characters in the entire game. Like she is definitely like the best in follow-up, which she's also pretty versatile because she can work with both crit and break. And Mose is also pretty good for like face out teams as well. Like, and even the new MC forms have been great, especially Remembrance MC giving us a free action advance option. So like we know that they can make good 4 stars. They just don't seem to want to do it, and I just don't understand why. Like, don't get me wrong, I do like a lot of the big, exciting 5-star characters because they're just hype. Like that's just what they are. But like having that over and over again does get kind of tiring. It just contributes to the power creep problem more and more. Now I don't think power creep is as bad as people make it out to be, but I do think that it is a problem that Toyo should be trying to address. Like I'm not saying that every single patch there needs to be like a 4 star, but like the rate we are getting them is just not enough. Like maybe like every 2 patches maybe we could get one, And to be honest, if we don't get a new 4 star 3.3, I might just like give up all hope on getting new 4 stars, I'm gonna be honest, since the devs really just don't seem to care about making them that much. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.